It's a tale as old as time. If you want a junior executive saloon car, you'll either have a BMW 3 Series, an Audi A4, or this, the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. That story is changing though, because these days the C-Class doesn't just have its German rivals to worry about. It's also got to defend itself against Jaguar's XE, smaller cars from the class below such as Audi's A3 Saloon, and even justify itself against good value rivals from the class above, cars like the BMW 5 Series. To compensate, Mercedes has given this C-Class a really stylish interior and a driver experience focused on comfort. So, is it all worth it? Or these days, is the C-Class outshone by stronger competition? That's what we'll answer in this review, starting with how it handles on UK roads. There's a staggering amount of choice when it comes to engines in this C-Class saloon. It all kicks off with the C200 petrol, then there's a trio of diesels badged as a C200, C220 and C250 Bluetex, and even petrol electric and diesel electric hybrids. And then, if that isn't enough, you've also got a sporty C43 version and even range-topping C63 and C63S performance saloons too. Here we're driving the C250 Bluetech diesel, which has more power than our recommended C220. It certainly feels more punchy, but unfortunately it's no more refined, and that means there's plenty of noise and vibration coming into the interior. Overall, the C220 is a better bet because it has enough power to keep you moving swiftly, but is also fairly kind on running costs. The C-Class isn't as inspiring to drive as its rivals from BMW, Audi or Jaguar. This steering has an inconsistent weighting and there's quite a lot of body roll through corners. Plus, none of the standard suspension setups delivers a particularly comfortable ride. Things do improve if you opt for the Airmatic air suspension though. Even then, the C-Class still crashes over potholes. On this C-Class, we've got a smooth shifting 9-speed automatic gearbox. Now, the gearbox itself can take care of most of the work very easily, but you can take control using these paddles behind the steering wheel. So if you do find yourself on a lonely, long country road, then you can have a bit of fun. You can choose from one of 5 different driving modes using this button here on the center console. You can choose from Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, an individual mode, and an eco mode. Although in truth, the changes they make are really minor. We find it's best to leave the car in Comfort, which seems more suited to its nature. This interior is certainly very nice, and even taller drivers should have no trouble getting comfortable thanks to this driver's seat, which adjusts electrically, and in this case the driver's controls are all here on the door, so there's no reaching down to the side of the seat unless you want to find the lumbar support. There's also this steering wheel which again adjusts electrically on this car for height as well as for reach. There's a good view out the front of the C-Class, but looking out of the rear is hampered by those thick rear pillars and that relatively small rear window. Fortunately, every C-Class comes with a reversing camera as standard, and if you go for a sport model, then you also get front and rear parking sensors. You can also opt for a self-parking system which can do the job for you. Now, what's really nice about this interior is the way it looks, and it certainly looks better than the more conservatively styled options you'll find in the Audi A4 or BMW 3 Series. Go for a range-topping AMG line model and you also get this imitation leather here on top of the dashboard, another nice touch. But as you start to prod and feel your way around the C-Class's cabin, you start to realise that it's not as well put together as its German rivals. Every C-Class up to the range-topping C63 gets this 7-inch screen mounted high up on the dashboard, and it's controlled by this rotary dial and touchpad combination here on the center console. Now if you go for a Sport or AMG line version, then as standard you get a relatively crude Garmin sat-nav, but we recommend upgrading to Mercedes' own command system, which gets you a much greater, clearer display. Its features include a DAB radio, and there are 2 USB inputs here under the center armrest. So let's see how easy it is to use, starting with how to pair my mobile phone via Bluetooth. Now Bluetooth is already turned on my mobile phone, so if I navigate back to telephone and I'm going to connect a device, Bluetooth is turned on my mobile, and we're going to search for phones. So there we go, the search has begun. See how long it takes and how many other phones are in this area. There we go, it has found my phone, so let's see how long it takes to connect. Yes, that passkey matches, so we'll select yes, connecting profiles, and wait for it. There we go, we're connected, and that means I can use many of the features of my phone without taking my eyes off the road. That's obviously very important. So now I can put my phone away and we'll see how easy it is to set a destination in the sat-nav. So I'm going to use this rotary dial to navigate to the Navi menu, and then we're going to select a destination. There's destination, and I'm going to enter an address. So I'm going to select town, and as ever, going to aim for our offices in Twickenham. Now, I'm going to use this touchpad system, and this is much like the Audi A4 or 3 Series, it can recognise your handwriting. So if I start writing the word Twickenham, we'll see how long it takes it. Oh, we've got a please wait already. So TWIC. There we go, it's found Twickenham straight away. I'm going to select OK and continue. We'll do the same for the centre. As you can hear, the route is being calculated, and there we go, very quickly, very simple to use, and once this maps up, it's actually a very clear display. And once you've got this in front of you, you can even have navigation instructions related to this driver's display right in the middle of these dials. So that means you don't even have to take your eyes off the road to look at them. There's enough space to stretch out here in the front of the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, even if you're a taller adult. There's plenty of legroom and headroom, even if you go for this optional panoramic glass roof. There's a good amount of storage space on offer too, with wide door pockets, a decent cubby beneath this centre armrest, and a covered area at the base of the dashboard. Plus, as usual, there's a glove box too. Move to the rear seats of the C-Class and things do get a bit more cramped. And if you're anything like me, sitting 3 adults back here, we will be quite limited on space. 2 6-footers though should be fine, because you do still get quite a large amount of legroom. Although a word of warning, anybody relegated to this middle seat will have this quite high transmission tunnel to deal with, which will limit your legroom. You do get some fairly nifty storage solutions though, because each passenger gets their own pocket here in the door, and also a small holder in the back of the seat in front of you. In terms of boot space, the C-Class is on par with the BMW 3 Series, and that means you should easily be able to get a set of golf clubs in here or some weekend shopping without any trouble. If you do need to extend this space further though, then you can get folding down seats. So that means if you pull on these handles, you can then move the seats down. So you just fold these seats down nice and easy, and then you've got a large, relatively flat space, which should be big enough for anything that you're thinking of moving. As you might expect, the C-Class is priced competitively next to the BMW 3 Series, and it makes good sense as a company car, especially if you go for a manual gearbox, because that gets you lower CO2 emissions than many of its direct rivals. The official fuel economy figures stack up well too, as does the C-Class's resale values. In fact, it continues to be good news right down to equipment, because even entry-level SE models get alloy wheels, leather seats, climate and cruise controls, and a reversing camera. For our money though, we'd upgrade to Sport trim, which brings extras including sat-nav, full LED headlights, heated front sport seats, and all-round parking sensors. You can pay more for AMG line trim, but the mainly cosmetic changes it brings doesn't justify its higher price tag. Every C-Class gets automatic emergency braking as standard, and when it was last tested by Euro NCAP in 2014, it achieved the full 5 stars. There is plenty to like about the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. Its interior looks very stylish, and its low CO2 emissions and generous standard equipment only sweeten the deal. Ultimately, we still prefer the more well-rounded A4 in this market, but the C-Class is a very credible alternative. Now, for plenty more on the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, including our full online review, head to whatcar.com and never miss another video by clicking subscribe. And remember, if you're in the market for a Mercedes C-Class, we can help save you money on your next car. Just head to whatcar.com and click on our new car deals section.